Shalom. I want to start off by saying Kal Halal Yamla, Yahweh, Basham, Yahushai, Basham, Reka Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us the truth and who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the Akim that are spread around the four corners of the earth, spreading this word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect. I'm the brother Quatazab Zion from the GMS Harlem branch, coming back through the spirit and power of Yahweh Basham Yahushai with another lesson, with another video. And Lord willing, this video is edifying. This video I want to go into Philippians. Let's go to the book of Philippians 4, verse 11. Let me start at verse 10. This is the book of Philippians 4, verse 10. But I rejoiced in the Lord greatly that now at the last your care of me had flourished again, wherein ye were also careful, but ye lacked opportunity. Not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am, therefore to be content. So this is Apostle Paul when he went to the Philippians. He said that he rejoiced in the Most High greatly, for they were taking so good care of the apostle when he came. You see? And if you go into that word, let's see, careful. It's proneo, which the outline of biblical usage says to have understanding, to be wise, to feel, to think, to have an opinion of oneself. Direct one's mind to a thing, to seek, to strive, to seek one's interest or advantage. And the Strong's definition say affection. You see, to set your affections, to be, to take care, of someone. Because when you read it like this, it might look like when it says ye were also careful. You might think like, okay, no, they were anxious for what this man would do or things like that, so you would be hesitant. But that's not what is being meant here. Full of care, that's what being meant. So now he was being taken care of by the Philippians. And verse 11 it says, not that I speak in respect of want, not that he wants anything, not that he needs anything, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am, therefore to be content. Gone. Because through the comfort of the scriptures, we get hope. We understand the scriptures and we understand how the Most High works. So we understand that Apostle Paul, he was content with having much or having little. And that's also in the book of Sirach 2, verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. So we both, we shouldn't be in respect of want. The Most High gives you what you need, not what you want. You see? So when you're being changed to a lower state, when you have less than the Most High's, through patience, through long suffering, he's trying to show you something. That's when you're being formed, you see, in this case. But also in this case, when Apostle Paul, he has learned that when he has much, he's content, and when he has less, then he's also content. Because it's the works of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, it's the ways of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. The Most High is a false balance, is an abomination to the Most High. So the Most High always balance everything out, like it says in Proverbs 11, verse 1. I can grab it real quick. Proverbs 11, verse 1. A false balance is abomination to the Most High, but a just weight is his delight. Gone. So this is double-fold. It's also speaking about how when merchandisers and sellers, they falsify the balances, so that they, for example, you would put 1 kilo of gold and then they would falsify the weights so that the weights that were on the other side of the scale, they would be, for example, 1.1. It might seem like on the imprint on the weight. It says 1 kilo, but it might be 1.1, 1.2. See, so that is an abomination to the Most High. You got to keep things fair, and that's what the Most High is also. He's also fair. So when He brings things upon you, then it's to balance everything out, to let you grow, increase, and then you can move forward. You see, so Apostle Paul, he also knows how to be content. Verse 12, I know both how to be abased and know how to be abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed, both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. I can do all things through Yahushua, which strengtheneth me. Gone. So Apostle Paul, he knows how to, when he's brought low, that how he should act. He shouldn't be, you can't start getting mad at the Most High or cursing the Most High, or or tempting the Most High. No, He knows how to be abased. We learned how to be abased also. In patience possess ye your souls, in the long suffering. You don't get better in good times. You get better in hard, difficult times. That's when your character improves and you shed certain uh, um, unwanted habits, or habits that are bad for you. You see? And I know how to be abound. So even when you have a lot, then you know how it was when you had little. So you're going to balance that out. You know what is sufficient for you to survive, and you're not going to overdo it when you're abound. Save a little for the rainy day. Because you know how the Most High works. It comes with waves, like frequency. You get a high frequency and a low frequency. So with frequency, you have the without getting too into mathematics and physics, but you have the hyperbole, which is the top, and then you have the bottom part. So that's how the Most High works. He comes full circle every time. So when you're abound, then help the ones that are in need and set something aside, so that when you help somebody that is in need, or when you help your fellow Israelite that is in need, that you don't come into the same predicament, that you have need also of help. You see? So it says, everywhere and in all things I am instructed, both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. You see? So Apostle Paul, he has mastered the art of basically not being swayed by the things that you have or don't have. Keeping your integrity, stay focused, just like with Job. Let's go to Job. This is Job 2, verse 10. And this is what the woman said, showing you also a point that to show you that the scriptures is on point, when the scripture says that the woman is the weaker vessel, and from the woman came sin into the world. Let's see what happened here. Let me go a little bit up where it says, let me see. Bear with me for a second. Yeah, I can't seem to find it right now. Salakia. Reading over it. Yeah, this is Job 2, verse 4. And it says, And Satan answered the Lord and said, Skin for skin, yea, all that a man had will he give for his life. Because Satan was able to, the Most High gave him permission to touch his flesh and to do things with the people around him and his substance and things like that. But verse 5 it says, But put forth thine hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. So that's what Satan says. You know, when you start touching his flesh, that's when man is going to curse you. You know, that's what Satan implied. So now we jump to verse 9. And then said his wife unto him, Dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse the Most High and die. So you see here the words that Satan used, and he will curse thee to thy face, the same words his wife, Job's wife, also used. So Satan, you know, he jumps into these females, their flesh, and the weaker vessel, their flesh, just to bring out the point and to do what he is actually made for. You know, he possesses people, for instance, demons possess people, for instance, to tempt you to go against the Most High. You see? So exactly the same words that Satan used, the female used, curse the Most High to his face, you know, showing you that these women, they're susceptible to Satan. I mean, we also, but the females more quickly. But to go back, verse 10, to go back to the topic, Job 2, verse 10, But he said unto her, Thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What, shall we receive good at the hand of the Most High, and shall we not receive evil? In all this did not Job sin with his lips. You see? Satan tried to tempt him, but Job kept his integrity. And what did he say? Shall we only receive good and not evil? So that's also how you have to go about your life. You have to go about things like, okay, we receive good, but also evil is from the Most High to balance everything out. You know, if you don't know what bad times are, how are you going to appreciate the good times? And the same thing that I just said, that's what the Most High is doing now with us. He showed us the bad time. The bad time is now that the wicked are ruling over us. So now when we endure this, when we inherit the kingdom of heaven, we walk into the kingdom of heaven with the knowledge of how we have been persecuted and being slain and being treated like shit by all these nations, you know, by the wicked bearing rule. And what is going to happen? We are the honey of the kingdom of heaven, the sweetness of the kingdom of heaven is going to be even sweeter, because we went through the gutter and we made it. You know, like Drake started from the bottom, now we're here. But yeah, so the thing is, when we are going to inherit the kingdom of heaven, we are going to appreciate it more. And the same thing is with this. You know, we shouldn't be in respect of want. You know, not being like, okay, no, this is what I want. No, the thing is, it's a balance with the Most High. So now He's giving us the bad so that we can enjoy the good. You know, but what gives us this stability? The wisdom, knowledge, understanding of the Most High. You know, like it says in Isaiah 33, verse 6, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and the strength of your salvation. You see? So wisdom and knowledge is keeping us sane and keeping us pressing forward toward the mark in a balanced way. Good, evil, good, evil, good, evil. Still, we're taking one step forward, putting your left foot forward and then your right foot forward. Not hasting and running a race, you know, a rat race. No, this is a marathon, step by step, steadily. You see, but the understanding of the scriptures gives you that, yeah, It's like when you're walking on a thin wire. The scriptures is that pole that keeps you balanced when the wind comes. You know, then you see the person almost losing his balance, but the stick gives him that balance again, and that's the scriptures. That's our stability. You see, as long as if you have that, then you can't go wrong. So that's why also, let's go to the book of Psalms. Psalms 23, verse 1 and 2. It says, Yahweh is my shepherd, I shall not want. You see, we're not in respect of want. We're not covetous. You know, the Most High is going to bless you in due season. The Most High is going to give you hard times in due season. Verse 2, He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. And what is a green pasture? Pasture is the scriptures. You know, the pasture is what we are, the sheep of the Most High. We are the nation that the Most High put close to Himself. He calls us the sheep. So He gives us that pasture that is going to feed us, which are the scriptures. I think it's Isaiah. Yeah, this is it. This is Jeremiah 3, verse 15. And I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. So pastors, they feed you with the pasture, which is the green grass, which resembles the scriptures. They will feed you with knowledge and understanding. That's what is going to keep you from not having respect of want. You see? So now your mind is being fortified by the knowledge and understanding. Let's go to Proverbs 30, verse 8. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me. So don't let me be too rich. Don't let me be too poor, because otherwise, if you're too rich, then just like how the wife of Job was telling him, like, curse the Most High. So when you have it too good, then you might forget the Most High, and because you're so in your flesh, you're so in your lust, you're so indulging in the things of this world, that you forget the Most High, And don't give me poverty so that you curse the Most High. That's the part that I wanted, Salakia. So in this part, when you're in poverty, then you'll be like, yeah, the Most High forsaken me, or the Most High doesn't care about me. So that's the part where, things get too hard for too long, so that you might reject the Most High. You see? But what should you want? Food convenient for you. And what is the food convenient for you? The scriptures. Because the scriptures, that's the bread. Man shall not live by bread alone, bread and water alone, but by every word that is written in the Bible, roughly paraphrasing. So that's going to keep you sane. That's going to give you that hope. That's that light at the end of the tunnel, knowing that the Most High, He takes care of the one that fear Him. So let's now go to First Corinthians 4, verse 11. Let's go through some of the difficulties that Apostle Paul had to go through. Even unto this present hour, we both hunger and thirst, and are naked, and are buffeted, and have no certain dwelling place, and labor, working with our own hands, being reviled, we bless, being persecuted, we suffer it, being defamed, we entreat, we are made as the filth of the world, and are the offscouring of all things unto this day. Gone. So these things we have to suffer, or the men of the Lord suffer. You are being made fools for Yahushua's sake, like it says here. You see? We are fools for Yahushua's sake, but ye are wise in Yahushua. We are weak, but ye are strong. Ye are honorable, but we are despised. So after a while, just like how in the time of that Apostle Paul was persecuted, there's going to come a time again when the servants, the prophets, the men of the Lord are going to be persecuted. They're going to be hunted down. So in all these things, we should stay faithful. You see? Because now you might have things, now you might have a lot, but there's going to be a time when you're not going to have anything, and your faith is going to be the only thing that you have. Second Corinthians 6, verse 10. I want to give it a green color. Let's give it a green color. This is 2 Corinthians 6, verse 10. So these things are motivation. If you read the whole chapter, then you see the things that Apostle Paul had to go through. As sorrowful, yet always rejoicing, as poor, yet making many rich, as having nothing, and yet possessing all things. So that's how Apostle Paul was. Sorrowful, in the flesh for the things that he had to go through, but in the spirit, he was rejoicing for converting many Israelites. As poor, he didn't have anything when he was traveling and things, only the things that he needed, yet making many rich. How? Spiritually rich. You see, giving them the kingdom, the knowledge of the kingdom of heaven, the gospel, spreading the gospel, as having nothing and yet possessing all things. So this is then the contrast that is being shown. You have the flesh versus the spiritual. So in the flesh he was sorrowful, but in the spirit, spiritually he was rejoicing, and spiritually he was making people rich, even though he was poor. Because why? What is the mentality of the men of the Lord? What was the mentality that he had? This is Philippians 3, verse 7. But what things were gained to me, those I count loss for Yahushua. So the things that we receive in this world, you should see it already as a sacrifice, that you're going to lose it at one point. You might lose it now or you lose it later, but those things are counted loss for Yahushua. You see? Let me read it in NLT. I once thought these things were valuable, but now I consider them worthless because of what Yahushua has done. You see? We might have a little bit of something here on this side, but can count it as loss. Count it as a sacrifice now, from now on, You might still have it, but in due season, it's a sacrifice that has to be made. Verse 8, yea, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Yahushua my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win Yahushua. You see? So all these things that we have, that we work for, count them but dung. You know, it's a pastime. That's how you got to see it. And it shouldn't be a pastime that takes too much of your time, you know, because, you know, like we already said, false balance is abomination to the Most High. So you feed to the spirit, but you also sometimes have to balance it out by doing something that you like, you know, because we are still in the flesh, and the if you abstain the flesh too much, then the flesh might creep in, and you know, all type of other demons and Satan might come with that flesh. You see, so not being righteous over much, and not being wicked over much. So it's a balance, you know. Feed the spirit, but also the flesh has to be. You have to maintain the flesh, you know, like give the flesh maintenance, like a service. Not a service. It's like a when you go to the mechanic to service your car. So sometimes you have to, like, you know, feed the flesh what it needs to take you a couple of extra miles. That's what I mean to say. But the things that we now have on this side, you know, counted but loss, counted but as dung, as garbage, so that we can win Yahushai. You know, we have this treasure in these earthen vessels, which is this wisdom, knowledge, understanding. We have it in these earthen vessels, which are our bodies. So that's the most important thing that you got to keep safe. So we don't move in respect of want. We don't, you know, go after worldly things like how the people of this world do. But we understand that the Most High is about balance, perfect balance. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Reka Kodash. Shalom Akim.